Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Unbelievable as it may sound, Sean Hogg has won the right to appeal his sentence. Sean Hogg is, if you remember, the man who committed the R of a child and then, rather than going to jail, was given 270 hours community service. He felt this was too harsh and wanted to appeal the sentence. And the Scottish courts have allowed it. The family, as you can imagine, are absolutely livid. Meanwhile, there is still the appeal going on about the original sentence where it was said to be too lenient, and they're looking to actually overturn that and put him into jail. So there's appeals on both sides. One saying it's too harsh, one saying it's nowhere near harsh enough. Meanwhile, this girl is watching all this being replayed yet again in public. How bloody awful. It's what on earth is going on that a man can do this to a child, not go to jail, and then be allowed to appeal his not going to jail sentence? It's ridiculous. We'll take a look at this story, but honest to heavens, the justice system in Scotland is not fit for purpose. And of course all this came in under the last Justice Secretary, and we all know who that is. Here goes. So there he is. Child Ara, Sean Hogg, granted the right to appeal conviction despite avoiding prison sentence. Now I've just cut that top line off because YouTube doesn't like certain words being shown on the screen too early in the video, but you know exactly what it is. The beast was given a community payback order instead of prison time due to his young age. He was, by any definition, a fully grown adult. And this is the SNP's soft touch justice. Let him walk free from court. Had it been my daughter, granddaughter, whatever, he wouldn't have walked free. He wouldn't have walked. Anyway, a man who dodged prison despite R-ing a child has been granted the right to appeal his conviction entirely. The predator, Sean Hogg, has been granted the right to fight his conviction for doing this to a girl of 13. Lawyers for the beast, 21, who sparked outrage by walking free due to his age, thanks to the soft touch justice of the SNP, will argue his innocence at the Court of Appeal in Edinburgh in August. He needs to be in prison. He doesn't need the option of walking around the streets and going to prison, going to court to try and prove he's innocent. He's already been proved guilty. This is a joke. But then when you see who was responsible for bringing this kind of stuff in, Humza Yousaf, why does he think it's increasingly okay to be able to do these things to children? Why is it in his mind acceptable that young girls can have this done to them, and that men can be increasingly lightly, punished? It's the softening of the justice system, isn't it? It's the constant push, salami slice by salami slice, to make this particular thing not just normal, but almost obligatory, the way it's going. And this comes as the Crown Office waits to hear if they will be granted a review of a sheriff's decision not to jail him. Yeah, the Crown Office actually did put this in. They want him jailed. They're saying without that, what is the point of having the law? I mean, what is the point of prosecuting anyone for this crime if you're not going to send them to prison? The offender was let off with a community service in April, despite being found guilty of carrying out attacks on the teen, who was barely a teen, in Dalkeith Country Park in Midlothian in 2018 when he was 17. The victim's family slammed the decision as another kick in the teeth, according to the Scottish Sun. After being told Hogg will be allowed to call for the jury's verdict to be overturned, the girl's gran said it's another kick in the teeth. It feels as though this will never end, and we just hope the Crown's application for appeal is granted as well. Yeah, he does, and he needs to go to jail, and he needs to do a long time. You see, instead of saying, oh, he was young, we must give him a soft sentence, you say the victim was young, and we give him a very, very harsh sentence. Never ever look at the age of the perpetrator. Always look at the victim. Justice must be led by the victim, not by the perpetrator. A Scottish Courts and Tribunal Service spokesman said, "We confirm Sean Hogg has been granted permission to appeal and a preliminary hearing has been set for August the 10th. Well, there needs to be much, loudness about this. People must go to this court, must be outside this. There must be people marching, placards, everything. It must be shown, the people must be heard that they do not expect this appeal to be given. And they want the other one to go, so they want to see this man in prison." Trial Judge Lord Lake said the High Court in Glasgow that he would have caged the Ara for 4 or 5 years if he'd been aged over 25. So 4 years, do 2, less what you've done on remand for R-ing a child. Scottish justice. Hey, unbelievable, isn't it? Instead, he gave Hogg of Hamilton 270 hours of unpaid work, and the Crown later announced their intention to appeal his unduly lenient sentence. And then they should take that judge out, derobe him and strip him of the right to ever sit and judge a trial again. Last Thursday, they lost a court bid to suspend his work order until after the appeals are heard. It was also revealed in the Scottish Sun last week that Hogg faces a series of motoring charges. He is accused of driving cars without insurance in Airdrie and near Chapel Hall in March while on bail. The case was continued without plea until July. So let's hope he gets done for that as well and he goes to prison for something. But surely, if you are a child, and the judge saying that if he was 25, he'd have given him 4 years. He'd have been out in less than 2 for the R of a child. What is the point of a justice system if it's dishing out sentences like that? The R of a child should be 30 years. And it's the only way that you can deal with problems like that. People knew they were getting 30 years. They'd think twice. Unbelievable. Anyway, round up, I'm coming up, and I'm bloody angry about that. It makes you wonder what you have to do to get a long sentence. R-ing a child, 2 years. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's astounding. It's astonishing. It goes to show that lily-livered liberals who've been given the command of the power to change the laws, to change punishment regimes, are basically saying you can do anything you like to children and you're not really going to get punished. Is it any wonder children today are so put upon, so threatened at every level? It is absolutely disgusting. And the courts aren't dishing out the sort of sentences that they need to be doing. They need to be making a spectacle of these people. Look, he's getting 30 years and the next one will get 30 years too. And if you ever do anything like that, it's going to be 30 years. Not 2 years, 30. And once people see that, it acts as an incentive to behave, doesn't it? It's unbelievable though. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked that they've actually allowed his appeal. And why would he appeal? He's been given it so lightly. You know, why would you appeal such a light sentence? I know why. I do know why. It's because if he can win the appeal and prove his innocence, then he's got no chance of going to prison at all. Should the other court case come through that they then appeal his sentence, which will mean he goes to jail. So that's why they're trying to do this. They're trying to preempt that. But it isn't good enough. And I hope the court says no, you're not getting away with it. You will do that. And then they do successfully appeal the sentence and he goes away for, 18 months, whatever it will be. Anyway, I shall stop there and round off. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see in here, do please hit the subscribe button. I would ask that you do. We're getting very close to the target. And 60% of my regular viewers, 60% of them, haven't subscribed. If you're a regular viewer, you may as well hit the button. Hey, anyway, do that. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Until next time, stay safe, stay well. Keep your eye on your kids because these people are out there and the courts and the police aren't doing anything about them. And goodbye.